Hi everyone. I feel like I'm taking a mugshot picture here. I'm just sitting in a chair in my apartment where I feel warm and cozy and safe. Why do I need to feel warm, cozy, and safe? Who doesn't want to feel warm, cozy, and safe? So I'm just trying to put my glasses down somewhere where they're not gonna break. So yesterday, sort of kind of related to the point of these vlogs. Yesterday, I went to the doctor's office to do a shrimp challenge. For those of you just tuning in, back in September, I had some weird reaction to sushi, which sushi in and of itself would give you weird reactions to things. So doctor told me to stay away from fish, shellfish and finned fish, which I did. And then I had 3 shrimp the day after, on Thanksgiving Day. 3 shrimp, which I've eaten shrimp like my entire life. And fast forward, throat started closing up, the whole 9, called 911, EpiPen in my leg, whatever. You can rewind to that vlog, which I think I vlogged about. I can't even keep track. This whole journey is like, I can't keep track. And as an intellectual person, I try to find reasons for things. And in this freaking ass journey, I get that sometimes there just are no reasons for things. And that's very, very, very hard for me to wrap my head around. And yet here I am with another vlog, as I'm sitting in this freaking stool and the bottom of it's not staying where it's supposed to be. It keeps sliding. I don't do these vlogs for cinematic, showing off of my cinematic expertise. So that happened with the shrimp. Anyway, it's been a thing. I went for skin tests. Every skin test came back negative, including the histamine, which was weird because the whole point of the histamine is that it's a control, like it's supposed to cause a hive. And they put another histamine in my upper arm, just to make sure things were working. And as soon as they put that on my upper arm, I started getting this like weird metal taste in my mouth. So then they're like, well, maybe it's medication related because that's why you would have a metal taste in your mouth. I'm like, I legit just got the metal taste in my mouth as soon as you touched that shit to my arm. And it didn't go away for a couple of days. I did not have COVID. You know, when you have COVID, sometimes you can get like a taste of like nickels in your mouth. That's not what it was. Anywho, they did blood work because the skin test didn't make any sense. So they did blood work. All the blood work came back negative, including strawberries, which I know that I'm allergic to. And then the discussion was like the difference between being allergic to something and having an intolerance for something. Potato, whatever. So the blood work came back negative, though for environmental things, it was accurate, like for pets and stuff. So I went yesterday because the next step was actually eating shrimp in a controlled environment, and let's see what happens. So you can see the shadow from my phone here. So that was what I did yesterday. Went into MGH and bought shrimp. Went in with the shrimp. They gave me it's if you have kids with allergies or know someone with allergies, that's like what they do. They portion out a certain, like a serving size, I think it is, and then they feed it to you, or they give it to you to eat over like a span of 3 to 4 hours. So like every 15 minutes, I had, start with a small piece, then go to a bigger piece, and when all said and done, I had like 4 pieces of shrimp, like jumbo shrimp. I won't go into too much detail about that, but within, again, 20 minutes, which is about what happened last time, within about 20 minutes of me eating the first thing of shrimp, and at that point, after 20 minutes, I had 2 like servings of shrimp, but in total, it wasn't even like 1 full shrimp. Maybe it was like a half or 3/4, and started feeling the same symptoms. And I'm not here to go through a play-by-play of that. It's just like, if you, and this pops up not just about allergies, but most everything. If you don't, what's the word I'm looking for, present as having like the textbook case of things, well then in the medical world, they're just not things. And this is my experience. Again, I'm just a jaded cancer survivor. I'm not a medical doctor or any of that stuff. But I don't understand. And I understand that I have to be okay with not understanding. And, as you go through life and shit happens that just doesn't have an explanation, it just makes it more fucking confusing and frustrating when there's just no fucking answer. So that happened yesterday. I was having a hard time with stuff, and they're like, they asked if I wanted a Zyrtec and just to stop the test, but that if you stop the test, then you're considered failing the test, which means you do have the allergy. And I had my EpiPens with me, and she's like, do you need the EpiPen? I'm like, no, I need something, but I'm still breathing and speaking, so I don't need the EpiPen. So fast forward, I was there for 4 hours and then finished the last piece that I actually had, a full serving of shrimp over the 4 hours. And then or I should say over the 3 hours, and the last hour they observe you. But then I wasn't comfortable leaving without taking like a Zyrtec or something, because last time the Zyrtec seemed to help. So I asked her if I could have the Zyrtec, which she gave me, and then I had to wait there another half an hour after I had the Zyrtec to see if I was going to have any reaction from the Zyrtec. I don't know. But I felt better, and then I left, and then I ate a meal, because when you do this, you're doing it on an empty stomach. Like, I wasn't allowed to eat for 2 hours prior, and it was first thing in the morning, so I hadn't eaten since the night before. So I'm just eating shrimp on an empty stomach, and all I can have with it is water. Whatever. Anyway, so because I was considered to have passed the shrimp challenge, the next step is, when I got home, she's like, for the next 3 days, you should be eating 3 to 4. First, she said 4 shrimp for the next 3 days. And then she's like, if you're only comfortable doing 3, then that's fine. Because the reasoning behind it, again, I'm not an allergist, whatever, but from what I know, because my kids had allergies too, had, you want to keep it in your system so that your body does not start to consider it a threat again. And I guess that's the gist of what I'm trying to get to, is going through all this shit when your body finds things and all of a sudden they present as threats where they did not present as threats for me for the past 50 years. Not that I had shrimp when I was 3, but I have consistently throughout my life had shrimp and fish and seafood and shellfish, whatever. And I understand that people just randomly get allergies as they get older. So just now, I went down to the store and bought the freaking shrimp, and I ate 3 of them, spanned out over a few hours. And because I'm home, I had ginger ale with it. I had lunch somewhat prior to me eating it. My stomach was bothering me, but I didn't have, my tongue still feels a little, it feels like when you have really, if you drink coffee and it's too hot, or tea mostly, if it's too hot and your tongue feels weird because it feels like you burned it, whatever. That's what my tongue still feels like. But no one was here, so I didn't hear, I didn't my voice wasn't changing or anything because I wasn't speaking to anybody. Whatever. I'm going into way too much detail. But the gist of it is it's been a couple hours now and I'm okay. Am I perfect? No. But I ate them on my own, and last time I ate them on my own at my house, I had the paramedics here, and I don't now. So while I'm glad, it also leaves me confused. I'll eat it tomorrow and then the day after that, and we'll see what happens. I anticipate that it's not going to be anything happens because I've eaten more shrimp in the past 2 days than I usually eat in a year. But it's just so frustrating that I don't understand, like, why my body is responding the way that it is. Oncology says, like, there is no relation between allergies and having gone through cancer treatments, though when I did my own reading on Dr. Google, it says that, when your body is used to fighting shit, like going through treatments and stuff, and you're putting these fucking chemicals in your body to like kill the cancer, which is good. But in the meantime, your body is learning like what's foreign and what's not. And your body is in like fight mode. And my body has been in fight mode for the past, I'd say 3.5 years. But at this point, I'm creeping up to that 4-year mark, which is crazy. I don't know. But what bothers me is like I said, when you don't portray or present as like a textbook case, or they say that there's no research on that, or there's no study on that, does that make it not real? That's what pisses me off. And as much as there's like a mental health crisis in the world, that's not funny. As much as they talk so much about like, mental health and pushing meditation and doing all the things to keep people like okay, but yet you have a medical community, who's telling you basically that like this is all in your head because like I didn't have hives. Well, I didn't have hives when my throat closed up either. Like just because I don't have hives on my arm doesn't mean that I'm not having a reaction to something. Like when you legit stop breathing, that's a problem. And it's so frustrating. It's frustrating to have to advocate for yourself all the fucking time. And I'll continue to do that. So I was advocating for myself yesterday, and in the notes, in the notes that the doctor put in the gateway, she said I was on edge. I'm like, yeah, I was on edge because like you're not validating that like what I'm fucking feeling is actually a thing. It's all in my head. I'm like, bullshit. Oh my gosh. Like I'm not perfect. And I've been through therapy, and my psychiatrist broke up with me because she's like, there's nothing more that she can offer me. She's like, you're fine. Go about and live life. I didn't want to say yesterday, my psychiatrist said that I'm fine. So like, fuck off. It's all in my head. I wonder, because of the fight flight response, if she didn't say it was all in my head. She's like, what she said was that my brain is triggering that, something's awry, and it's not necessarily the shrimp. It's just in general, my brain is saying it needs to be in defense mode. And that's why I'm having these, she didn't say reactions, but these symptoms, whatever. She didn't even call them symptoms. She was very dismissive, and I didn't appreciate it. So I've been doing some, like, I recently, paid for, I've been using Insight Timer for quite some time, but I paid for the subscription to Insight Timer, which, I don't usually plug things, but there are courses on there that aren't an option if you're not, if you don't have a paid subscription. And one of them is on, like the, controlling the nervous system, or not controlling, but, having, well, maybe controlling the nervous system and your immune system's response to like stimuli and stuff. And I learned, I mean, of course, everyone knows about the fight or flight, but it's like, what does that really mean with your body? And then like, how is that presenting itself? And this was not in any oncology background or whatever. Like they weren't talking about cancer at all. They're just talking about anything. So I don't know. I wanted to come on just because I know I'm not the only person that's like dealing with this bullshit. And it just happened to like present itself as shrimp, which weirdly, my mom loved shrimp. Like we used to go to this restaurant when I was a kid, and it was for like special treats and stuff. And they had a salad bar, and the salad bar had peel and eat shrimp. And it was like this big treat and they had really great banana bread, but it was just a treat that we would go there. And with my mom passing away last year, like, yes, there's still a lot of stuff to process there. That doesn't make me freaking, Looney Tunes. It's just like when you lose your mom, it's kind of a fucking big deal, and it takes a lot to process. Weirdly, I'm going to make a similarity between that and cancer, because when you first get diagnosed with cancer and you're dealing with like what to do, your mind is all in the space of doctor's appointments, paying bills, like all the businessy things behind it, like getting all your papers in order that God forbid something were to happen, like, what's going to happen with your kids and your money and your home and all that kind of stuff. And then I feel like when someone passes that you're very, very close with, and you're the one who's taking care of stuff afterwards, there's a lot of fucking paperwork. There's funeral homes and planning I mean, they plan the funeral, but it's like it's a one big thing. And then you have like, there's stuff and then accounts to go through. And there's just a lot of paper stuff that it almost doesn't allow you to mourn. In my case, my mom's passing, because there's so much paperwork to take care of. And it's still not done yet. Whatever. It's still not done yet. But it doesn't leave you time to have the emotion behind it, to fully have the emotion behind it, to process everything, because that's in the way. And I know, like, I went to the healing garden in Harvard, Mass. I feel like I talked about that in a prior vlog. And I actually need to pull up. I should do that, like, tomorrow. We're supposed to get snow, so I won't be going anywhere. I should pull that up tomorrow. I had an intake there, and they sent me a bunch of paperwork to fill out. And when I went there and talked to them, when I had my intake, they said that most people that go there, they don't go there right after they're diagnosed. They go there when, like, things slow down and treatments slow down, and you're being told, go about life now. Shoo shoo, you're all good. And it's like, how do you do that? And then you have, like, I'm blessed to live where I live, that I have things like the healing garden that offers art therapy and music therapy and support groups and acupuncture and all these things. Speaking of art therapy, I did another paint night. My apartment complex hosted a paint night. And I just wanted to share this with you because my last paint night, my Eiffel Tower that was crooked, like, I don't know, this is, again, I'm not grabbing my tripod, I just like hit play and that's it. But my favorite is this tree right down here with the shading and shit. I think I did pretty well with that. You like my nails? They're like Lee press-on nails. But I thought I did much better, even with the snow. I thought I did a pretty good job. My tree trunk could use better days. It's supposed to be the Aurora Borealis because it was visible here not long ago. But I'm much more happy with this than I was with my Eiffel Tower picture. Of course, when I was coming back from this, it started raining, and I'm like, no! Anyhow, so I'm doing the things. I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing to get back to life, whatever that looks like. I started doing a latch hook kit rug. I don't know where that came from. I used to do them when I was like a kid, because I don't like really sew. I cross-stitched at one point when people, like my friends, were having babies and stuff. Anyway, I don't understand what my body is doing. And the thing too, because right now, I'm in February right now. Sorry. Ugh. It's the latch hook yarn. It's like in my mouth. It's February right now. Yesterday actually was Valentine's Day. Yeah, I was I was at MGH eating shrimp for most of the day for Valentine's Day. Anyway, but it's February, and in the back of my mind, I wondered if because of coming off the Lupron, that really threw my body for a loop hormonally. And I did start taking medication. How long was it? I stopped the Lupron in October, and it was like January where I just felt awful. Like totally felt awful. When I stopped the Luprons entirely, my body just was thrown for a loop. My body's very sensitive. I know that. Like, I say that flat out. Like, that 3% of people that blah, blah, 97% of the time this doesn't happen. Well, I know that I'm on that 3% of people. Like, I throw, when I say that and the doctors are like, ugh, not literally, but I'll throw at them that I have fibromuscular dysplasia, and when they don't know what that is, I'm like, see, I'm the 3% of people that knows what it is. Anyhow, but it's very frustrating to try to figure out what your body's doing. So yeah, when I got off the Lupron and then needed to be on medication to control things, and I feel like in general, like that has worked itself out, and that I've been in menopause for a year. Well, actually more than a year now, a year and 3 months or something, outside of being in a chemical menopause. So there's that going on in my body. And then I stopped the Zimeta infusions in July. So I would have been due for another Zimeta in December, January, and obviously didn't have one. So I wondered if my body would be thrown for a loop now coming off of the Zimeta. And I don't know if that's part of the case. I have no idea. The big allergic reaction happened in November. I would have been due for Zimeta in December. Are they related? I have no idea. Of course, every doctor says, no, they're not related at all. But they also said me coming off the Lupron didn't mean anything either until I talked to the right doctor after trial and error of like, who do I talk to? What do I say? How do I get help? You know, that one doctor was like, oh yeah, this makes sense because blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why do I have to go through 4 fucking doctors to have, you know, a doctor that tells me they understand what's going on? Like, I still have that lump in between my breasts, on my breastbone. I go see my PCP in like 2 weeks, and I'm going to bring it up again to her because I feel like she's going to send me to someplace. I don't like that it's there and it's getting bigger and it's not cancerous, which I get. I thought maybe it was even, because I'm not like my bras or anyone's bras would be different after going through a double mastectomy. My hair is so like, ugh. I put like hair oil in it, which worked out really great for the first day, but now my hair is like all, ugh. It doesn't feel nice. What was I saying? Oh, the fuck was I just saying? I got distracted with my hair oil. Oh, the lump. Yeah, I don't know what I was getting to with that. It's not cancerous. With the bras. I thought maybe because I'm not wearing the same kind of bras that I was before, obviously, after surgery, I wondered if my new bras, because some of them are, my comfy ones are like zip up in the front. And I wondered if like the bottom of where the zipper is rubbing against stuff and that's what's causing the lump. But there's nothing on the skin at all. And they told me like if that was the case, I would have some abrasion on my skin, which I don't. It's all underneath. And then they tell me it's my xiphoid process. Well, everyone has a xiphoid process, including me. And like, it's not supposed to change in size. And if it's inflamed, then like, why is it inflamed? And I haven't come across a doctor who has been able to answer that for me. So we will see. But I need to get dinner going. I'm just frustrated, and I'm hearing more feedback from people on this channel, not even so much related to cancer sometimes. It's weird how it crisscrosses into other worlds and stuff, but it's the general frustration of just not feeling heard or validated. Like, do I need external validation to feel better? Yes, I do. And a lot of people do too. Not about everything. But when it comes to this stuff, yes, because it's frustrating when stuff is going on with you and they're like, no, that's not happening. I had like in the mornings, I have neuropathy like really badly and on one of my hands, mostly in the morning. And it's not the way that I sleep because whatever, I don't need to go through all that stuff. But, when I go to the doctor, they're like, no, you don't have neuropathy. I'm like, really? Because I can't feel my fingertips right now. So what do you mean? No. You can't see that I can't feel my fingertips. So if you can't see it, it doesn't exist. Which I guess that's where faith comes from now, doesn't it? You know, do you believe in God? How do you believe in God if you can't see God? Some people say they can. And I'm not opening that opens a large can of worms in the world of people that are Christian like me, and people that are atheists that don't believe in anything at all. But that's a huge other conversation. That's not a today conversation. I'm just frustrated, and I just wanted to come here to provide some camaraderie if you're feeling frustrated by this whole fucking process too, and how doctors treat you. And the nurses were very nice. The doctors, not so much. Whatever. Tomorrow's another day. I'm going to make myself some comfort pasta and then go along my merry way. On a good note, well, it's snowing out, so it looks pretty. The little rug that I'm making so far looks pretty. I haven't destroyed it, so that's cool. The paint night thing was fun. So there's my there's my gratitude right there. I don't know. Like, in general, things are going well. It's just like, can we just have things go well for a while and not have these bizarro, like, shrimp bumps in the road? Like, what the fuck is that all about? I just want to go, like, a month with, like, nothing big happening at all. Just, like, chill. I am going to be going to the Runway for Recovery retreat, which is coming up in April, and I'm very much looking forward to that. It's at Alnoba in New Hampshire. It was supposed to be there last year too, but then they had a snowstorm and lost power, so we couldn't do it there. But it was and Olivia put together a really nice weekend in Newburyport for all of us. But I've never been to Alnoba before. So I'm very excited to go and have some, pampering, chill out time. All right, I gotta eat. My tongue's starting to feel weird, so I gotta drink some more water too. But stay strong, people. I know it's frustrating being strong, but we gotta take care of ourselves and know that, like, our reality is reality, even though other people might not think so. But stay strong, keep fighting the fight and doing the stuff. Bye.